Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you are already subscribed or you've seen my videos before, thank you for watching. So today I was going to film a get ready with me while I did a story time. I tried 5 times to film that, but I literally cannot talk while doing my makeup. I either need to be focused on the makeup or focused on the story, and I can't do both at the same time. Literally cannot. So that did not happen, but I'm still gonna give you guys story time. And today's story time is one that literally runs into my memory like 5 times a month. It makes me laugh when I think about it now. But this is the time that I caught my best friend making out with the boy that I liked while I was asleep, and they were both on top of me. The disrespect, right? Right. Let's set the scene. It's 2014, 15-ish, the summer of one of those years. And I had a giant group of friends. There was probably 14, 15 of us rolling deep every single summer. We all hung out together and everything. Let me preface. I'm not going to be naming actual names. If you know me and you want to guess who these people are, go ahead. I'm not going to confirm or deny who said people are. Also, if you're these people and you're watching, congratulations, your griminess has now been introduced to a public platform. When you're younger and your hormones are running rampant, you do stupid shit when you're younger. And I definitely understand that now, which is why I'm not mad about this. But it's just one of those things where you hear someone's, if you heard someone say yeah, my best friend made out with a boy on top of me while I was asleep, you would think, oh, it's a fucking lie. That never happens. Oh no, but it happened. And it really and I was who what person does this? How do you do this to your best friend? Someone that you call your best friend. It's one of those things where it's how as a person can you do this? What was the thought process while this was going down? But I'll get into that then. So every summer, basically in from 8th grade up until 11th grade, me and this giant group of friends who'd all hang out at this place after school. And during the summer, did I say that? Yeah, I said that. But anyways, during the summer, when school wasn't in session, we would go there 11 o'clock to 3 p.m., yada yada, spend a lot of time there together. And then sometimes we'd all go hang out other places. We would go for walks, and we would go to parks, and we would go to the mall, and yada yada. Usual stuff that friends do. A lot of my friends had very complicated relationships with each other. And by a lot of them, I mean the friend group was split between me and the girls, and then the boys of my friend group, because clearly I don't count as one of the boys because I spent all my time with the girls. We were a very messy, eclectic group of friends, to put it at that. People dating each other, people not dating each other, drama literally every fucking time we all hung out. And we all kind of got past it, didn't talk about it, which in hindsight was the worst thing we could have done, because if we talked about it, we could have avoided this. But here we are. This is a small chunk of all the horrible things that has happened within this friend group. This is also a small chunk of the horrible things that these two people have done to me and my friends. I'll give you guys the backstory on both of these people. So let's start with the girl in this story. So I need to give them fake names. So the girl's name is going to be Lacey. Lacey and me were best friends for basically my entire life up until after high school. Me and her grew up together. We did a lot of stuff together. And when we got into high school, her priorities shifted towards wanting a boyfriend, needing male attention, and everything like that. And I supported her like the good friend that I am. I, never really questioned anything that she needs to do, even though I should have. And I enabled her, and I gave her chance upon chance upon chance. Obviously, it's my fault. But clearly, I didn't think that would lead to her literally completely destroying my trust in her. And the crazy part is that this was not even the worst thing she did. And this wasn't even the final straw, which broke our relationship. Our relationship broke because she decided to just dip out, and that's it. So that's backstory on her. Backstory on the boy. We're gonna call him Josh. I became friends with Josh through mutual friends, and it was great. Me and him got really, really close, and things went downhill when I decided to get a develop a crush on him, which in hindsight now is super stupid of me, because fucking typical gay kid has a crush on the straight boy and they're best friends and blah 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 blah. Thinking back now to then, worst decision of my life. Took up an entire chunk of my life because I like this kid. I would do anything for him. And that's when the clown really jumped out on me. So Josh was very known for being one of those I'm a nice guy, so women should like me just because I'm nice, but did not realize that being nice is not just a redeeming quality. You need other qualities besides being nice, and he did not have anything redeeming about himself, if I'm being completely honest. He was very much, he craved attention. He basically just wanted to always have the attention on him. He was just a literal narcissist. He would he was just a literal narcissist. He would literally say to us, I'm gonna go ghost on everybody and see who comes after me, who cares about me. And would do it 3 times a month. He was not okay. He had a lot of issues with, never getting attention from girls or from people and blah, blah, blah. And I helped him through a lot of his issues. And he knew that I liked him. It wasn't a secret. But our group was riddled with literal love triangles here, there, blah, blah, blah. Ugly, ugly shit. But it wasn't the fact that, I'm not more mad at him than I was at her, because she was my best friend. She owed me that loyalty. When you're friends with someone, they owe you that loyalty to be there for you and to, respect boundaries. She skipped over everybody's boundaries. She didn't care who she hurt. And should I have realized that a long time ago? Yeah, I should have. But we're not friends anymore, so I really don't care. And it had been known that they together have had a rocky past. They didn't like each other, then they did, and then they were friends, and then they weren't, and everything like that. And they were both just super craved attention from other people. So one day it kind of clicked in their head hey, I want attention, let's just give each other attention without giving a shit about who knows or who cares or anything like that. But they cared about who knew, because if they didn't, they wouldn't have kept it a secret. But also, if they decided to be risky and make out on top of me while I was asleep in my house, on my couch, in my living room, But anyways, neither of these two know that I know. And I guess now you know that I know, and you know that what you did was grimy and disgusting. But that's really I'm not making this video to be malicious towards them. It really is for the laughs. It makes me laugh. Does it appall me that two people could be so vile to somebody that was there for them? Yeah. Does it surprise me from them? Not at all. Now let's get to the real story. So 2 weeks prior to all this happening, me and my friends would all go to a park, natural reserve, so to speak, and go there and hang out and everything like that. We would go play in the woods because we thought this was a fucking scary movie and that it was okay to do, because clearly we're insane as fucking 15-year-olds. And we all went. Them two went into the woods and they got lost and came out 10 minutes later. And that's when I knew that something happened. I'm not stupid. I know these things. I can pick up on these things. But I let it go for a benefit of the doubt, because I'm always someone who believes that you can change, you can get a second chance. But in the back of my mind, I knew that something happened. 2 weeks after that, we were all at the hangout place, not in the woods, but the place that we would go to. And we were there. We were all just hanging out, relaxing. It was super hot that day. And I mean, extremely hot. And the place that we were at closed down for the day. After the program ended, everybody else had something to do. And those two had nothing to do at all. So I suggested that we go to my house, we watch a movie, just have a movie night, and just hang out. Because I didn't at the time ever get to spend time with just them two. So I figured it'd be nice and, we could have fun. They both were hesitant to come along because they said they were going to go do something. I wasn't going to stop them from going, but I said the option's always there if you want to. So they both decided, a little reluctantly, might I add, to come to my house with me. So we walked to Turkey Hill, we got ice cream, we got slushies, and we walked back to my house. I popped in a movie, I made us popcorn, we watched a movie, and then we watched another movie. But the energy felt weird because Lacey just was super affectionate with me. She wouldn't leave me alone. And it just made me think she was kind of just like showing off, if that makes sense. I sat with her on one couch and he sat by himself on another couch. And that was really that. When it's cold, like I knock out. I knock out when it's cold. Because sleeping while it's cold is just chef's kiss. Amazing. So I grabbed a blanket and I continued to watch the movie until I fell asleep. Last I remember was that they were watching the movie intently and everything. The movie didn't end and we were just chilling, blah, blah, blah. So like an hour later, I like start opening my eyes and look at the little clock on the the Comcast box display. And it said that I had like an hour passed, so I'd probably been sleeping for an hour. As I'm like coming to waking back up, I hear like sucking noises, and I'm thinking like I'm just shaking, like I'm trying to wake myself up and everything like that. So I'm just hearing shit, and then I hear like and like not moaning, but like just weird noises, and I sound like a virgin. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend people who are virgins, but I sound like I don't know what kissing or sex is. But it wasn't sex, because now I would have flipped the hell out. And then I'd feel like pressure on my legs, which means someone was laying on me. I turned my head slightly, opened my eyes fully, and there they are, full on, making out. She's laying on top of my legs, and he's laying on top of her, and they're making out. And I mean, like, they're lip locked hardcore, tongue, and I can hear all the noises. And I had literally 5 seconds to react and think. And I was like, okay, do I get up and scream like, what the fuck? Or do I what do I do? And I decided, pretend that you're sleeping. I took my foot and I kicked up and I hit them both with my foot. And they both fell off onto the ground. I pretended the thud of them falling onto the floor woke me up. And I fluttered my eyes open like I had just woken up. And he jumps up from his spot and gets back onto the other side of the room. And I said, what's going on? And she said,
oh, I dropped something and he was helping me find it.
And then I was like, oh, what'd you drop? And she's like,
nothing, never mind, I found it.
And I was like, are you guys okay? You guys look really sweaty. And at this point, they don't know that I know, or they think that I know, and they're scared. And while I'm talking to them, what's running through my head is, how fucking dare you? Like, legitimately. How do you have the audacity to come over to my house? I buy you food. I make you food. I made them popcorn. Let me stop. And then while I'm asleep, it would have been one thing if you would have went into another room and started making out and doing shit. That's one thing. But it's a whole nother thing for me to be in the same room, sleeping, unconscious. You both lie on top of my unconscious body and start tonguing each other to no end. The sounds, all of it, the visual. I can never get it out of my head for as long as I live. I will never get it out of my head. It just... Why? Just why? Like, to call yourself my best friend and then to make out with the board that you know that I liked, he knows that I like him, and then you act like nothing happened. I waited and that day to see if she would like ask me if I knew anything, But neither of them said anything to me about it. So then I did what I thought was best, and I pretended like I didn't know anything. But throughout those next couple weeks, I dropped hints about being a horrible friend, you know, kissing and just in general, anything that had to do with that situation, I dropped hints. And I could see in her face, the color just drained out of her face every time I would ask her. I'd be like, "Can I talk to you?" And everything would just go down, and she'd be like, "What about?" Eventually, I think that she forgot and that he forgot, because then they stopped being friends and they stopped doing this and that and everything. And she moved on to another one of my friend's crushes, not a surprise. And he moved on to absolutely no one, because he's such an insufferable crybaby that no one wanted to be around him. To this day, I don't know. I know where they're at. I know where both of them are at. Like, because one hasn't moved out of this town and I still see him every now and again, and the other one moved away at the end, like right after we graduated. So, you know, they don't think that I know, but I know, and you're both grimy for that. But you know what? Your griminess makes for great content. So thank you so much. And thank you for listening to my story time of my abhorrent and clearly horny out of their minds ex-best friends. There is a lot more that I could say that they've done. And I probably will say more in different story times if you like. Hey, editing Aaron, once again. So in the midst of filming this, I completely forgot to do an outro. So I'm editing right now, and this is my outro. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening. The lighting is literally horrible. And please like, subscribe, and comment.